Hello guys, welcome to another video. This one is paper 2-2 of May-June 2020. Let's move on to question number 1. So here we have Stefan has an annual income of 21,500 in 2018. His annual income increased to 22,790 in 2019. Find the percentage increase. So how do you find the percentage increase? You have to find the increase divided by the you can say initial or you can say original salary, so income times 100 for percentage. So let's do that. What is the increase? Increase will be 22,790 minus 21,500. This will be the increase divided by the initial salary times 100. Okay, let's see, what do we get? So 22,790 minus 21,500 divided by 21,500 times 100. That will give me 6% for the increase. Now to point B, Stefan invests this much. So when you say invest, it means this is your principal, P. The bank pays a simple interest, so in this case that will be a simple interest at a rate of 2.5%. So rate is 2.5% per year. Calculate the amount Stefan has in the bank at the end of 3 years. So 3 years is the time. Now since this one is a simple interest, we know that amount is equal to P plus I for interest, and we know that I is equal to what? P R T. Now replace, so P is 1260 plus 1260 times R is 2.5%, so 2.5% times T for time. So let's solve this and see what do we get. So we have 1260 plus 1260 times 2.5 over 100 times 3. That will be 1354.50. So this will be the amount that he will have after 3 years. Now to part C, Stefan changes 4,300 rupees into dollars. The exchange rate of $1 is equal to 67 rupees. How much? Work out how much he receives. So he changes this much rupees to dollars. So we know that 67.8 rupees is equal to $1. So 1 rupees will be equal to 1 divided by 67.8 dollars. Now he has 4,300 rupees. That will be 1 over 67.8 times 4,300. So 1 divided by 67.8 times 4,300, that will be 63.42. So now you have to give your answer correct to the nearest dollar. Since this one is less than 5, it will be 63. So let's say, for example, if that was 63.52, so if it is equal to 5 or more, you have to add 1 to this number. It would have been 64. But in this case, it will be 63 because it is less than 5. It is 63. It will remain 63. Now, moving on to question number 2. Let's see what we have here. The length of a rectangle is 6 centimeters more than its width. So the width is equal to W. So what will be the length? If the length is 6 centimeters more, so the length will be W plus 6. I hope that makes sense, right? Now the perimeter of the rectangle is equal to 37. So how do you find perimeter? So let's show a drawing here. Here, let's say we have the rectangle. As you can see, the width is equal to W, and the length is W plus 6, W plus 6. So the perimeter is to add everything around the shape. So it will be W plus 6 plus W and W plus 6. And we know that it is supposed to give you 37 according to the question. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, that will be 4W plus 12 is equal to 37. So 4W is 37 minus 12. That will be 37 minus 12, that will be 25. So W will be 25 divided by 4, that will be 6.25. That will be the value for W. Now question part B, it says a rectangle 20 centimeter by 8 is cut from this rectangle of 28 by 15. Each measurement is given correct to the nearest centimeter, so it is nearest 1 centimeter. Calculate the upper bound for the area of that region. So how would you find that area of that region? So usually you will take the area of the big one minus the small one, right? So to find the upper bound, you have to take the maximum area of the big one minus the minimum area of the small one, so that you can find the upper bound for this area. I hope that makes sense. The way to find the maximum difference is to take the max value minus the minimum value to find the max difference. So let's first write down the lower and upper bound for each area. So let's begin with the big rectangle. So say big rectangle. So we have length of 28 plus minus 1 over 2, that will be 28.5, and 27.5 for the lower bound. And for the width, 15 plus minus 1 over 2, that will be 15.5 and 14.5. Now for the small rectangle, let's take the length as well. So you have 20 plus minus half, that will be 20.5 and 19.5. And then for the width, same thing. To find the upper and lower bound, that will be 8.5 and 7.5. So now one by one, you want to find the maximum area of this big rectangle. You will take the max length and the max width. So 28.5 times 15.5. Now you want to minus the minimum area of this small one. You will take the minimum length and the minimum width. So minus 19.5 times 7.5. Okay, so let's solve. 28.5 times 15.5 minus 19.5 times 7.5. That will give you 295.5. So the max area will be 295.5 centimeter square. Okay, so let's move on to question number 3. It says a light L is here on a building 8 meters above the base of that building. This is 8 and this is given by 12. Now question part 1 is to calculate the angle of elevation of L from P. So from P to L. So you have to know this will be your angle of elevation. Let's call this one angle alpha. So we have to find angle alpha. So the one thing we observe is that this is a LPB, is a right angle triangle, as you can see. So in that case we can use so, ka, toi. So we have opposite side O, O. We have adjacent side, so we have to use tan. So tan of alpha is equal to 8 divided by 12. So alpha will be tan inverse of 8 divided by 12. So 8 divided by 12, tan inverse of that will be 33.7 degrees. That is part 1. Now for part B, it says a ladder placed on the ground at Q. So this is a ladder here to reach the light L. So this is the ladder from Q to L. Now the ladder makes an angle of 70 with the ground. So 70 with the ground. Find the length of QL. Find this length. So again, one more time, you can see that LQB is a right angle triangle. So we can again use so, ka, toi. Now we know this height is opposite side, so O, O. and we're trying to find this side. This side is your hypotenuse, so that will be this and this. So we have to use sine. So sine of 70 is equal to opposite side over hypotenuse, which is QL. Now QL is equal to 8 divided by sine of 70. That will be 8.51. So 8.51 meters will be the value for QL. Okay, that is part B. Now moving on to part C. It says a vertical pole RS, so we have RS here, of length 1.6 is placed touching the horizontal ground. The light produces a shadow of TS, that's the shadow here, of the pole on the horizontal ground. LRT is a straight line and TB is 6.5, so 6.5, and this one is a straight line. So if you guys can see that, it's pretty, I would say it's easy to do that way, but you have two methods of doing this question. One is by trigonometry and one is by similarity, because if you observe, triangle RTS is similar to triangle LTB because it is a small triangle inside of this big triangle. So these two sides are parallel to each other, so these will be similar triangles. So now if you compare sides, so we know that this side is 8, so we can write 8 for the big one, divided by the corresponding side in the small one will be 1.6, equal to, this one is the big one, so 6.5, divided by the corresponding side, it will be TS. So now we can find, this is by similarity. You compare the corresponding sides. So basically 8 is a big one for this big triangle LTB. You compare the same corresponding side for this small triangle. So this over this, and then 6.5 will be for this one. So you make TS the subject of formula. It will be 6.5 times 1.6 divided by 8. Divided by 8, that should be 1.3. So TS is 1.3 meters. So that is question number 3. Okay. Let's move on to question number 4 now. It says the table summarizes the time, m hours, that each student in a year group spent listening to music in one day. So here we have frequency F, here we have time. So some results are shown in the histogram. So whenever you have a histogram, as you can see here, you have to find the frequency density. So what is the formula for frequency density? It is frequency divided by class width. So we know F already. Find the class width. So what is the class width here? So we have to find the values. So class width is just this minus this. That will be 1. This minus this will be 0.5, so half. This minus this will be 0.5 as well, 0.5 as well, and this one will be 1, this one will be 1.5, and this one will be 2. So now to find the frequency density, you have to do F divided by this. So that will be 8, this will be 20, this will be 2p, this will be 28, this will be 23, this will be what? So 18 divided by 1.5, 12, and this one will be 6. So question part 1 is to find the value of P. So as you can see here, we know the FD of P is equal to 2P. It is for the group of 1.5 to 2. So 1.5 to 2 is this group here, and the value for FD is 30. So basically it means that FD here is equal to 30. So from this, P is equal to 15. So first one, the value of P is 15. Now part B, complete the histogram. So we have 1, 2, 3 groups. We have to do the rest. So we have to do the next 4 groups. So for this one is from 2 to 2.5, it is 28. So 2 to 2.5 is 28. 28 will be, this is 25, 26, 27, and 28. That will be for this histogram. So let's join the points. So that's the line connecting this one. And then for the next one, it will be 2.5 to 3.5. That will be 23. So 2.5 to 3.5, that will be 23. 1, 2, 3. That will be the points. Okay. Now what else do we have? We have this group from 3.5 to 5 will be 12. So 3.5 to 5 will be 12. 12 is 10, 11, 12. That will be the other group. And then the last one will be from 5 to 7, that will be 6. So 5 to 7, that will be 6, will be here. This one. As you can see, in this case, that will be joining this to this, that will be 6. Alright, so that will be your histogram for this table. Now, moving on to the next part. Here we have, for part B, this table summarizes the time, C hours, that each student in a group of 50 students spent cooking in 1 week. Alright, so part 1, calculate an estimate for the mean time spent cooking. So to find the mean time, we have to find the sum of fx divided by number of students, which is 50. So we know f is here, so we have to find x. X is what? X is just the midpoint of our groups. So how to find the midpoint? We have to do 0 plus 2 divided by 2. You have midpoint is 1. This will be 3. This will be 5, 7, and 9 for the midpoints. Now you have to find fx. So multiplying these two, 8, 48, 75, 49, and 36. So you have to find the sum of fx. So add everything together. 8 plus 48 plus 75, 49 plus 36, that will be 216. Now for the mean will be 216 divided by 50. That will be 4.32. That's your value for the mean hours. Okay, so moving on to part 2, you have to draw a cumulative frequency diagram. So let's do that. So we have to go here. So the first one will be, let's start here. So what value for C is less than, let's say less than 0, it will be 0 because nothing is really, we don't have any values for that. Now for less or equal to 2, we will have 8. Less or equal to 4, we will have 8 plus 16, that will be 24, but let's check. So 24. And for less or equal to 6 will be 24 plus 15. That will be 39. For less or equal to 8, 39 plus 7, 46. And the last one, less or equal to 10, that will be 50. So this will be the value of, let's say, x and y to plot on this graph. So first point is 0, 0. This one is, you can have it, but it's not necessary as well, but it's better to have it. So 0, 0. Then we have 2, 8. So 2, 8 will be here. Then we have 4, 24 will be here. Then we have 6, 39 will be here. 8, 46. And the last one, 10, 50. So now we have to join the graph, the points, and try to make sure that it is as smooth as possible. So try your best to make the curve as smooth as possible. So mine is not perfect. You have to make sure that it goes to all the points perfectly, as smooth as possible. Okay, question part 3 says use the curve to find the estimate for the mean. So pretty easy. We know the mean is half the value, which is 50 people. That will be the 25th value. So you go on this curve on the graph, you go to 25, and then you find the corresponding value. So for my curve, it shows that the value for median will be 4.2. So 4.2 hours will be my median estimate for this table. And that is my question number 4. Now let's move on to question number 5. Solve this equation. So let's solve this one. Should be pretty easy. So let's step, we can make x the subject of formula. So 2x will be 11 plus 4y. X will be 11 plus 4y divided by 2. That is my first equation. Now replace x in the second equation. So we have 3x. X is 11 plus 4y divided by 2 plus 3y equal to minus 6. Now to get rid of this 2, have to multiply by 2 everywhere. So you will have 3 here, 11 plus 4y plus times 2, 6y minus 12. Now if you simplify, you will have 33 plus 12y plus 6y equal to minus 12. So these two will be 18y equal to minus 12 minus 33. So 18y will be what? Let's do minus 12 minus 33. That will be minus 45. Y will be minus 45 divided by 18. That will be minus 2.5. Now for the value of x, that will be 11 plus 4 times y, which is minus 2.5, divided by 2. That will be what? So 11 plus 4 answer divided by 2, that will be 0.5. So value of x will be 0.5, y will be minus 2.5. Now for part B, we have to solve this equation and give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. So pretty easy. First, let's expand. The right hand side, you will have 24 minus 3x. Then we bring everything on one side, you will have 2x squared plus 3x minus 24 equal to 0. Now we have a equal to 2, b equal to 3, and c equal to minus 24. So now we have to use the formula. So x equal to minus b, which is minus 3, plus minus square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, divided by 2a, which is 4. Now let's simplify this. 3 squared minus 4ac. That will be 201. X will be minus 3 plus minus 201 divided by 4. So one by one, let's find the values. So let's do the one which is minus first. So minus 3 minus 201 by 4. Or it can be x equal to minus 3 plus 201 divided by 4. The first value will be what? Let's do that. So minus 3 minus square root of 201 divided by 4, that will be minus 4.29 because we need 2 dp. Now this one is minus 3 plus 201 divided by 4, that will be x equal to 2.79, 2 dp. So your answers will be minus 4.29 or 2.79. Now let's move on to question part C. So we have to form an equation here. So it says y is inversely proportional to the cube of g. So what is cube of g? Is g cube. That is cube of g. So h is inversely, which is 1 over g cube, which brings us to h is equal to k for constant and g3. Right. Now, we know the value of h is 4.5 when g is 2. So, h is 4.5 when g is 2. 2 cubed is 8. From this we know k will be, we multiply 4.5 by 8. That will be 36. So basically your equation will become h is equal to 36 divided by g cubed according to this information. Now for part 2, find the value of g when h is equal to this. So we have h is equal to 36 divided by g cubed. Now find the value of g when h is equal to 32 over 3 is equal to 36 divided by g cubed. So we cross multiply, you will have what? G cubed equal to 36 times 3 divided by 32. So let's do one by one. If you simplify, on top, 36 times 3, that will be 108, 32. Now you can divide by 4, 108 divided by 4, you will have 27. And 32 divided by 4, so by 4 is 27. By 4, that will be 8. So we have 27 over 8. So now g, from this we have, g will have to be cube root of 27 over 8, which is equal to 3 over 2. This will be your value for g. That is question number 9. Now let's move on to, question number 5. Question number 6, we have part A. We have 5 numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are all different, right? And it says 2 of these cards are chosen at random. So we have to choose 2 cards from these 5 cards. They are placed next to each other to form a 2-digit number. So we have to choose them and place them next to each other to form a 2-digit number. So first one, find the chance that the 2 numbers is less than 30. So let's first find out how many numbers can we have if we choose 2 cards to form this. So let's say this is not the part of the question. For now, we're just trying to find how many total numbers we can form. So the first one, how many choice we have? We can choose any 5 cards. That would be 5 choice. Let's say we chose 3, so this will go away, and the remaining will be only 4 choices. So in total, we have 20 numbers that we can form from these 5 cards. That is the total number of numbers that we can have. Now question, for it to be less than 30, the first number has to be less than 3. It has to be 2. So 2, we have only 1 choice, so 2, only 1 choice. And remaining will be, either we can choose 5, 4, 6, 3, so remaining we have 4 choice. So 1 times 4 is 4. So we have 4 over 20 for the chance. That will be, if you divide by, so 4 over 20 divided by 4, 1 over 5. So 1 over 5 will be your probability for this one. Now for part 2, it says list all the possible 2-digit numbers that are prime. So the numbers here we have 5, 2, 4, 6, 3. So as you know that if your numbers end with 2, end with 4, end with 6, so these are even numbers, it cannot be prime. If your number ends with 5, it is divisible by 5, so it cannot be prime. So the only option is if it ends with 3. So let's start with 20. So we have 23, we have 43, we have 53, and we have 63. So these are the possible options for it to be prime. So now let's find out which of them are prime. So 23 is prime. So 23 will be one of the values. 43, it is prime because we don't have any factors from 43. And 53 as well is prime. However, this one, it is divisible by 3, so it will not be prime. So only 3 numbers are prime from this list. Now, part 3, find the chance that 2-digit number is a multiple of 4. So as you know, we have 5, 2, 4, 6, and 3. So for it to be a multiple of 4, we know that it can end with 2, the number can end with 4, it can end with 6. For example, let's say the number ends with 2, it can be what? It can be, we can take 32, for example, it will be divisible by 4. Ending with 4, it can be 24, for example, right? And if the number is 6, it can be 36, so in those cases, it will be a multiple of 4. That was just examples. But we have to take case by case. So first case, if it ends with 2, so we have two numbers here, right? So if it ends with 2, that will be one option, right? So let's say we assume that the number ends with 2. We will have 32, we would have 42, we would have 52, and 62. Now, which of those numbers is a multiple of 4? So we know this is, so we can test. So 32, is it divisible by 4? Yes, so this one is good. How about 42? No, it is not. It is not an exact value. It is 10.5. How about 52? It will be 13, so it is good. And how about 62? No, it is not good. So in this case, ending with 2, we have two values. Second case, we have ends with 4. So we have a list. So we have the two numbers here. We assume it ends with 4. It can be 24. It can be 34. So we're just taking the different combinations possible. It can be, it cannot be 44 because we have only one 4. It can be 54 or 64. So testing one by one. 24 divided by 4, yes, so exact value, good. 34 divided by 4, not exact, so not good. 54 divided by 4, 16, sorry, 54 divided by 4, that will be not exact. 64 divided by 4 will be 16, so here we have two values as well. And the last option is ends with 6. Ends with 6, so two case, and the one here is 6. So we have a few options. So for what number we know can end with 6, it can be 26, it can be 36, it can be 46, and 56. So let's test. So 26 divided by 4, nope, not good. 36 divided by 4, that is good. That is not good. And the last one, that is good. So as you can see, in total we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 of the numbers is a multiple of 4, but the chance is 6 over 20, which is the total number of numbers. So simplify, you will have what? Divide by 2, you will have 3 over 10 as your answer. That is part A. Now, moving on to part B, it says, Rowan throws a dice 200 times. The bar chart shows his results. This is the bar charts. Now, part 1, use the bar chart to complete the table of results. So we have to do these three. So for 4, let's read the value here, will be 35. For 5, it will be 22. And for 6, it will be 38. That will be the values for this one. Now, part 2, using row 1's result, find the relative frequency that he threw a number less than 3. So less than 3 is these two, right? This is 3, less than 3 can be 1, can be 2. So this will be the two possible frequencies. You have to add them up. So 46 plus 31 divided by 200 for the number of throws. So 46 plus 31, that will be 0.385. So here we go. So part 2, Robin says that the dice he has thrown is not a fair dice. So it's not a fair dice. This is a claim he makes. Now, make 2 comments to explain why the dice may not be fair. So the first comment I will make is that because he has thrown the dice 200 times, which is he has used a large sample. That's why a large sample. And from this, the results from a large sample showed to have a clearly different frequencies. As you can see, for each number here we have really different frequencies. It goes up, down, down, up, down, up, down. So it's not the same. It is clearly different, even though he uses a large sample. That's one of the comments. So 2, the relative frequencies are not the same, or you can say are clearly different. Right. You can provide a few examples. Let's say if you were to find the relative frequencies of this one, it will be 46 divided by 200. That will be 0.23. This one will be 31 divided by 200, 0.155, and this one will be 0.14. So it's clearly not consistent. It is different. It goes from up, down, down. So it is clearly different. So because of those two, you can say that it is not a fair dice. It may not be a fair dice. Now, question number 7. Part A. The table shows some values for y. Now we have to find the corresponding value of y for these values of x. So basically this one will be 4 power 0 is 1, and 4 power half will be 2. Right. Complete your table, done. Now we have to draw the graph for this one. So let's do one by one. So the first point is 0, 1. So 0, 1 will be right here. Then we have 0.52, 0.52 will be here. Then we have 1, 4. Then we have 1.58. Then we have 2, 16. Then we have 2.532. Then we have 3, 64. That will be about here. Okay, so let's plot this curve as smoothly as I can. So you have to make sure that your curve is really connecting all the points and it is as smooth as possible. So I'm using a pen here. It may not be great, but you get the idea. It should be smooth curve connecting all the points. So this is the last two one. Okay, here you go. This is my curve labeled as y equal to 4x, 4 power x. Now question part 3. By drawing a tangent, estimate the gradient of the curve at this point. So let's go to this point, x equal to 2, draw a gradient, draw a tangent to this point. It will be about, I would say approximately about on this line. So let's take one point here and one point on this side. So the first point here is what? It is, this is 2.5, 2.75, and this is 30. And one point over here will be 1 point, it's kind of hard, so this one is kind of hard to read. Let's take at this point. We'll take a point, let's take the point here, this one. So that will be 1.5, and this will be 6, so 2 points. So the first point here is 1.5 and 6, and we have 2.75 and 30. So find the gradient. M is equal to y2 minus y1. So 30 minus 6 divided by x2 minus x1, 2.75 minus 1.5. That will be 19.2. So 19.2 will be my estimate for the gradient. Now moving on to part 4, the solutions of the equation this can be found from the points of intersection of the curve and this one. Find the values of a and b. So pretty easy. Since it is the intersection, it has to solve them simultaneously. This is y. Replace y in this. That will be 4 this equal to 20 minus 12. Now you can 20x minus 12. Now we can see we have everything on one side. Let's bring everything on one side. Right. So you will have 4x minus 20x plus 12 equal to 0. Right. But you see that here we have 3. It means that we have to multiply everyone by 3. So let's do that. You will have 3, this, multiplied by 3, you have 60 plus 36 equal to 0. So in that case, you can compare now because we have the same kind of formula for those two. So this is the same, and this is a is minus 60, and b will be 36. Now for part B, by drawing the line this on the grid, find all the possible solution of this. So by drawing this line, so first let's find out where it cuts the x-axis. X equal to 0, sorry, y-axis, y will be minus 12. So this one we cannot do that because our curve, our graph does not go below 0, so it will not be possible. So let's take this one at y equal to 0, x will be equal to what? So that will be 12 divided by 20. 0.6. So one point will be 0.60. That's the first point. And the other point, let's take what? Let's take at x equal to, let's say x equal to 2, y will be what? So 40 minus 12, that will be 28. Second point will be 228. So let's plot those points on the graph. So first point is 0, 0.6, sorry, 0.60, so 0.6 as well. This is 0.5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0.6 will be here. That will be your first point. And then the other point will be 2.8. So 2 is where? 2 is here. 28, so 28. That will be right here. That will be the 2 points that we have. So let's join them and see where they intersect the curve. So this is the two possible values. So first one is here, and the second one will be right here. So let's see what points do we have for each of the intersection. This one seems to be 2.75, and this one is right in between. That'll be 0.5, 0.6, so it will be 0.625 from my graph. So it depends. You have to show your working. Your answer may be different, but you have to show how you got your answers. So for me, the value of x will be 0.625, or x equal to 2.75. That will be the two possible solutions according to my graph. Now for part B, it says, here's a sketch of a graph of a quad function, not to scale. Now it is not to scale, so we have to find the values of p and q. So this has a maximum point. So we do know that the equation of the quad function should be x squared plus something x plus something c, right? So since this one is a max function, the coefficient must be negative for the x squared. That's just something for you to know, right? Now, we know that it crosses the x-axis at these 2 points. So we have x equal to -2, x equal to 4. So we know that this curve is symmetric at this line. So what is this point here? This will be, so this will be 2, this will be 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6, so halfway will be 3. So 4 minus 3, this will be 1. So the point P is 1. Okay. Now we have to find somewhat the equation of this curve to find the value of Q. So we have these 2 points here, which is the solution at y equal to 0. So this point is what? Is x equal to 4. So x equal to 4, and this is x equal to 2. So what are the factors of this one? So this one will be 4 minus x, one of them, and this one will be x plus 2. So why did I write 4 minus x in this case and not x minus 4? Is because I know this curve is a maximum curve. It has to have a coefficient of minus x. That's why minus x will be in this case a factor. So equate to 0. This is y basically. So equate to y. This is your function. So expand, you will have 4x plus 8 minus x squared plus minus 2x equal to y. So y will be minus x squared. Now will be plus 2x plus 8. So this is the equation of the curve. So now let's check if it is correct or not. We know that one point is here, which is the point 0, 8. So let's see if that curve actually goes through this point. So let's say the value of x were 0. So if x equal to 0, y needs to give you 8. So that will be 0 plus 0 plus 8 equal to 8. So it is good, which means this is actually the good equation of the curve. So now let's find the value of Q. We know the point P is equal to 1, which is your x coordinate. Now find Q, which is your y value. So y equal to Q, which is equal to, so x will be 1, so minus 1 square, plus 2 times 1 is 2, plus 8. That will be minus 1 plus 2 plus 8. That will be minus 1 plus 2 will be 1. That will be 9. So value of P is 1 and value of Q will be 9. So that is this question number 7. So P is 1, Q is 9. Question number 8, we have a birthday cake is in the shape of a cylinder. Now there are 2 layers of cake and 1 layer of icing. Now this is icing and this is cake and cake, as you can see here. Alright, each layer of cake has a radius of 10 and height of 3. The icing between the 2 layers has radius of 10 and height of 12 millimeters, which is 1.2 centimeters. Now part 1, calculate the volume of icing in the birthday cake. Give your answer is centimeter cube. As you know, the icing is also a cylinder, so volume of cylinder will be pi r square h. Pi is pi, r is 10, and a height is 1.2. That will be 10 square times 1.2 pi. That will be 376.99. So correct to 3SF, that will be 377 centimeter cube. Now for part B, it says the top and the curved surface area and the curved surface of the birthday cake are now covered with chocolate, right? Now calculate the area of the birthday cake that is covered with chocolate. So only the top, so basically only the top and the curved surface area is covered with chocolate. So if you look at this, what is this total height? It will be 3 plus 1.2 plus 3. That will be what? 6 plus 1.2, that will be 7.2. So the total height is 7.2 and the top here is radius 10. So if you want to find the total area that is covered with chocolate, so let's find one by one. So first is the top area. It's just area of the circle, which is pi r square. So pi r square is 10 square. Now the curved surface area will be curved surface area of a cylinder, as you can see, with height of 7.2. So let's find out. That will be pi r, so 2 pi r for the circumference times h for the area of the curved surface. So let's simplify. R is 10, h is 7.2. So let's add each together. So the area covered will be what? This plus this. So that will be 10 square pi plus 7.2 times 2. So 7.2 times 2 times pi. That will be 766.5486. So your answer will be 766.5 for the area are covered with chocolate. Now for question number part C now, it says Anil has a slice of this cake. Okay, cake. As you can see, this is a slice. Now, what happens here? Let's see. It says his slice is a prism of height 7.5. That's the height 7.5. And the top of the cake is a sector of radius 10.3 and angle x. Okay. It says the volume of his slice is 200. Find the value of x. So how do you find the volume of a prism? You have to find the volume of prism is equal to cross section area times the height, will be 7.5. So what is the area of the cross section? So this area is just area of a sector of the circle. So let's do that. That will be volume of prism, we know it is 200, is equal to x over 360 times pi r square. So pi r square is 10.3 square times 7.5. So we have to find the value of x. So first we have to cross multiply. You will have 200 times 360. That will be 72,000 equal to, so 10.3 square times 7.5 pi x. Find the value of x. That will be this divided by 10.3 square times 7.5 pi. That will be 28.8. So value of x will be 28.8 degrees. Okay, so that will be question number 8. Let's move on to the next part now. So here we have what? It says EMF is a, these two are parallel lines. So these two are in the same direction, right? Now we have the angle, so LM equal to LN. So these two are the same. So from this we can derive that if these two are the same, it means that this angle here is equal to this angle here, right? Now it says angle GLM is 126. So what can we derive from this information? So as you know, this is a straight line. This will have to be 180 minus 126. That will be 54. So what are these two one? It will be remaining. So 180 minus 54 divided by 2. That will be 63 and 63 for the angles. Now let's move on. What else do we have here? Question, it says find FMN. So where's FMN? FMN, so find this angle here. So this angle will be equal to this angle. So it is 63 as well. So FMN is 63 3. So give a reason for each step of your working. So the reason why that you can give, let's do one by one. So first we found the angle, this angle. So first we have M, L, N is equal to 54 by doing 180 minus 126 because G, L, and H is a straight line. That's the first reason of how we found this one. And then from this we derive that angle L and M is equal to L, M, N, because the question says that it is the same according to question. So according to question, so from this we have angle. So the angle is equal to 63. So basically we do 180 minus 54 divided by 2 because they're the same. It will be 63. Right, 63, 63. Now we are given that according to question, we are given that these lines EF and GH are, so we know that EF and GH are parallel. So from this we know that angle F, M, N, and the angle L, N, M are alternate angles. So as you can see, these two lines are in the same direction. So this angle here, this interior angle, will have to be equal to this interior angle. That's why we say they are alternate angles. Thus the angle this equal to this equal to 63. So this is the explanation for the 4 points. Now moving on to part B, let's see what we have here. So we have a circle, center O, and then we have A, B, C, D touching the circle. Right. Now what else do we have? So this one is in terms of X and Y. So it says BC is the diameter of the circle. So if you have BC here, and as you can see, we have a triangle here, triangle BDC, and this is the diameter. It means that this is 90. Also, we have BAC. This will be 90 as well. It's just by theorem that we know these two angles will be 90 because of BC being the diameter, and these are triangles over the diameter. Now part 1, find expression in terms of X or Y for the angle DBC. Where's DBC? So DBC, so we have to find this angle. So pretty easy, as you can see that this angle is angle at the circumference and this angle is angle at the center. So we know that angle at center is always twice the angle at circumference, which means that angle at this will be y divided by 2. That's the first one. Now we have to find ABD. So where is ABD? So ABD. So find this angle here. So since let's see what can we do. As you can see, angle this is on the segment AD. Also, angle X is also on the segment AD, which means these two are the same. So this is also X. So ABD will be X degrees as well. Now for part 3, AED, let's see what we have. So AED, where is AED? So AED will be here. AED will be this one. So how would you find this angle? Let's have a look. So on this side, what can we find? So if you observe, you can see something here, is that we have a triangle ABE, BE, a small triangle. It's a right angle triangle. If this is 90, this is x, this will be what? This will be 90 minus x, this angle here. So we know that we can see that BED is a straight line. So this angle here will be 180. So this one will be 180 minus 90 minus x. That will be 90 plus x. So angle AED will be 90 plus x. Now going back to the last one, we have BDA. So where's BDA? So BDA, so this angle here. So how would you find this angle? Let's see what can we derive. So as you can see, we have triangle ABC. So what is this angle C here? So this is 90, and this is what? This is x, this is, as we have seen, this is y divided by 2. This one will be what? This one will be the third angle of the triangle ABC, will be 180 minus 90, which is 90, minus this one, which is x plus y by 2, will be this angle here, right? Let's call this one alpha for now. Alpha equal to this. Now from this, as you can see, this angle is on the arc or segment AB or BA, on this segment. Also, this angle is on the same segment. It means that this is also equal to alpha. So BDA, so that will be BDA is the same as ACB. So basically, it is equal to alpha, which is 90 minus x plus y over 2. So you can write 90 minus x minus y over 2 for this one. Okay, that will be questions number 9. Let's move on to question number 10. Here we have volume of a prism equal to 1/3 times the area of the base times height. That's the prism, right? Now we have ABCD is a rectangular base pyramid. So this is a rectangle base. Now we have AC and BD intersect at F. So AC and BD intersect at the point F. So EF is perpendicular. So it is 90 to E to the line, basically. Now we have this length given to us. Part 1, show that EF is 10.5. So we have to find the length of EF. So what can we do here? We can take out a triangle. Let's take out the triangle EFCE. Let's take it out, right? So we have EFFC, and then that will be EC. This will be right angle. That's EFC. So we want to find the length of EF. We know that EC equal to 12. But we don't know this length, so we have to find first one FC. So how would you find FC? As you can see here, on the base we have another triangle, which is AC, D, it goes that way, DC, right? So ACD, so A, C, and D on the base. We know this is 10, this is 6, and since the base is a rectangle, this angle here will be 90. So how would you find AC? You will do the Pythagoras theorem. So AC square is equal to 10 square plus 6 square. 10 square plus 6 square, that will be 136. So AC will be square root of 136. Right, this is 136. So from AC, we know that FC is half of AC. These two are the same. So FC will be 136 divided by 2. Right. Now we can use that to find. So if you know this length, let's simplify. So 136 divided by 2, that will be about 5.83. This is the length of FC. Now if you want to find EF, we can also use the Pythagoras theorem. So we know that 12 square is equal to FC square plus EF square. So EF square is equal to 12 square minus FC, which is this over 2 square. So let's simplify. So 12 square is 144 minus this square will be 136 divided by 4. So what will be the value for EF? Let's see. So 136 divided by 4, 144 minus answer, that will be 110. So that will be 110. So EF will be square root of 110. Square root of 110, that will be 10.4888, which is 10.5, correct to 3SF, which is the one that we need. So you write shown for this value. Now moving on to part B, find the volume of pyramid. So as you can see, we know the formula already. Volume will be 1/3 times the area of the base. Area of the base is just area of the rectangle, so 10 times 6, that will be 60. And times the height of the, which is 10.5, the height of the pyramid. So 1/3 times 60 times 10.5, that will be 210. So 210 will be the volume of the pyramid. Now moving on to part C, it says find the angle DEC. So let's see, where is the angle DEC. So D is this, E is this, and C is this. So find this angle. So let's just take out the triangle first and see what can we derive. So this triangle will be E is here, D is here, this is DC, and this one joins to this. This will be D, C, and E. We want to find this this angle. So we know this one is equal to 6, this one is 12, and this one is also 12. So how do you find this angle? We have to use the cosine rule. So let's call this one theta. So we say cos of theta is equal to 12 square plus 12 square minus 6 square, according to this triangle, divided by 2 times 12 times 12. Simplify, cos theta will be equal to what? 12 square plus 12 square minus 6 square divided by 2 times 12 times 12. That will be 0.875. Theta will be cos inverse 0.875. So cos inverse, that will be 28.955, which is 29.0 degrees. Angle theta here will be 29.0, correct to 3SF. Now for part D, calculate the area of triangle DEC. So same triangle, find the area. So since we know this angle already, we can use a sine rule. So half of sine theta, which is 29 times 12 times 12. So half of sine theta, 29 times 12 times 12. That will be 34.9 for the area of triangle. Okay, this will be question number 10. Let's move on to question 11. That will be the last question of this paper. So part 1, it says we have triangle ABC. Describe fully the single transformation that maps A onto B. So it's pretty obvious that these two, it has to be a reflection. So from observation, you know it is a reflection, but what is the line of reflection? So let's count. This point became this point, so we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 divided by 2 is 3, so we count 3, 1, 2, 3. So basically, This will be your line of reflection. It's the line y equal to minus 1. So it is a reflection in the line y equal to minus 1. Now part B, triangle A is mapped onto triangle C by a single transformation H. Find the matrix representing H. So A going to C, there can only be one option because we can do by elimination. So since the size is the same, it cannot be enlargement. Since you can see that the direction has changed, it cannot be translation, so it can only be a rotation. So what is the angle of rotation? So let's see, this side became this. So we can, so from observation we know that the center of rotation has to be 0, 0. From observation you should know that. So this one became this. So as you can see, it is a rotation 90 degrees anti-clockwise. So now the next question is how to find the matrix for that. So we have to draw our little graph here. This is my first point and my second point. My first point is 1, 0. My second point is 0, 1. Now the question that I ask is, if I were to do a rotation of 90 degrees anti-clockwise, for this first point it will become what? It will be going to here. So the first point becomes 0, 1. And now for the second point, if I were to rotate this point by 90 anti-clockwise, it will become this point, which is minus 1, 0. So minus 1, 0 is the other section. So this matrix will be your matrix H for this rotation anti-clockwise 90 degrees. Now part C, a transformation F, M, is a reflection in the line of x equal to 2. Okay, and we have what? A transformation R is a rotation 180 about 0, 0. So now triangle A is mapped onto triangle D such that, so we have M onto A and then R onto these two. So let's do one by one. So first M applied to A. So M is a reflection on the line first. So let's do one by one. So this is the line of reflection for M. X equals to 2, so that will be 1, 1 here, 1, 2, 1, 2 here, 1, 2, 1, 2 here. So this is the first image of A under matrix transformation M. That's the first image. And then it says it is now we have a rotation of what? Of 180 by 0, 0. So now we have to rotate this by 180. So by 0, 0. So it will be on this line actually, so 180. So let's do that. So if you rotate this point by 180, it will become 180 will be here. This point will be here, and this one will be by 180 will be on the straight line. It will be here. So in this case, your triangle will become this, this, and this. This will be your triangle D. After the reflection and rotation, this will be a triangle D. So if you don't want to do this by the graph directly, you can always use matrix. So to find this matrix, the same method here we used. So what will be a rotation by 180? So we first begin with this point, 180. Clockwise will be, or anti-clockwise. So first point become this point. It will be minus 1, 0. And this point becomes this point, which is 0, minus 1. So you can do matrix times object equal to image. You can do that if you want to, but this will be your answer. It will look like this. So first reflection and then rotation 180 will be this triangle D. So that is the last question of this paper. I hope that was somewhat helpful And as always, thank you for watching. I will see you soon. Bye bye.